Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jacob Melenders from the Tech Support Department. Today we're actually going to cover two of the newest products that we have out, which will be the new 10-inch paper-treated cone. It'll be the new In-Wall Subwoofer from the Tantra line. And we also have the 250-watt monoblock Class D amplifier that's also going to power this bad boy. One thing I want to start off with, if you guys have loved the Tantra series, is the floor standing. These are the absolute aesthetic answer to getting something as powerful, as efficient, right in wall. So we're going to start off with the Tantra being a 10-inch paper-treated cone. You're going to get the rigidness, the stiffness that you're going to need in order to reproduce those low-end frequencies. They're going to go ahead and cover the 34 hertz to 20 kilohertz frequency range. It does have the speaker terminals up top. It is a compression molded sealed enclosure. There are no ports. The other thing is that you will need to pay attention to the depth of the subwoofer. Is unlike any one of our other enclosures, the fact that you'll need either a false wall, a full wall, or something that is at least 6 inches in depth to go ahead and install properly. The other thing is the cutout needs to be as precise as possible, because the grill this time is held on by magnets, and you will see less of a flange, thus you'll need to be pretty, again, precise on your actual wall cutout. Next is the 250-watt monoblock Class D amplifier that's also available separately for purchase. You will notice that it has two inputs, where it will be the balanced XLR inputs and also the unbalanced analog inputs. You will also notice that we'll have one of the major features will be the LFE, or the sub selection, as far as whether you want to use the internal crossovers or you have a processor or maybe a receiver that's going to go ahead and handle that and just send low end frequency to the amplifier itself. You also have features as the auto shutoff, which you can set from the remote or physically on the front of the display. You can set that to automatically shut off when it does not receive a signal, or to constantly be on all the time. The other things that you'll notice, it has rack mount positions on both sides, and they will be included as well. The output options on the Tantra digital amplifier are going to be your speak-on connector that is included, and you have the regular binding post that you'll find on most other amplifiers. Next thing we want to cover is the actual installation of the Tantra subwoofer itself. First thing I'd like to mention is we'd ask you to pay close attention to the exact cutout dimensions that we give you due to the narrowness of its flange. Second is that we also recommend to stiffen up the wall cavity, either using a foam or possibly even acoustic cell. Go ahead and give it that rigidness that you're going to need, because this thing is going to want to move a lot of air. As far as the speaker wire, you must use a minimum of 14 gauge speaker wire to actually make the connection from the Tantra amplifier to the subwoofer itself. Next thing you'll notice is the inclusion of the lag screws. You'll also be able to see pre-drilled holes underneath these plates. It'll be in each corner and in the middle of the enclosure itself. And then once you're done with all that and it's secured to the stud bay, go ahead and just place this cover simply back on over. And once we've replaced the cover plates for the screws, go ahead and install the magnetic grill right on over the front. Next thing we're going to cover is the installation process of the Tantra amplifier itself. To turn the amplifier around, you'll notice two sets of inputs, one being a balanced XLR connector and also unbalanced line level. For our demonstration, we are going to use the unbalanced line level. If you are going to use an LFE or a subwoofer pre-out from a preamp or a receiver, you can use either the left or the right, but we definitely make the recommendation of using the left input. As far as outputs on the amplifier, you'll notice that we include a speak-on connector and also the binding post. Give you a lot of flexible options for installation. For our demonstration, we are going to use the binding post. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and apply power to the unit. Once you've actually applied power to the unit, then you'll actually want to start the initial setup. The first initial step, after you have everything connected correctly, will be to determine if you are going to use an external processor or a receiver sub-out. If you are going to use a sub-out from a receiver or a processor unit, you will want to go ahead and set up that you are going to use the LFE input and not the sub. If you are going to use the internal crossover network of the Tantra amplifier, you will want to set it up to sub. After you made that selection, you will want to go ahead and pay close attention to your subsonic filters and also your cutoff level so that you match the output of your other speakers in your system. Once you have everything initially set up, go ahead and lock your settings and be ready to enjoy. This concludes the installation process of not only the Tantra subwoofer itself, but the 250-watt monoblock amplifier that are available separately for purchase. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to give us an email at techtips@speakercraft.com. Have a nice day.